So this is my first use of the iPad with a fluffy kitten microphone lavalier on my shirt so that I can go down here and I can start to show you these wheels. And yet, I also have another trick up my sleeve because I can stop and start the video with this. It's kind of experimental, but I'm going to stop it and start it. This should make my editing different and wacky. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Whoops, that was an accidental button clip. So it's raining, and I'm about to detail this Tesla Model Y. I just went and picked it up from the client's house, and I'm not sure why I'm wearing my glasses right now. This was my step up that I showed in my last video, which was about, is that about water spotting? I think water spotting video on a red Nissan SR Sentra R. And I showed you in the mirror the last week's video as I am running many weeks out, about a month out on videos right now. So I've got a lot in the hopper that have been coming out. This is nice. This attaches to the bottom of the base stand, of which my iPad 10 is now on, with its transponder for the microphone. Hope everything sounds good. It does have noise cancellation. I spent a little more money on this because you guys are worth it. And so now I bought a full tripod with it, with, you know, nice bubble balancing and some nice features, and all in an effort to do better. And then this is going to allow me pockets on these. This is going to allow me to kind of, you know, stop and start things a little better, where I don't have to like go and turn off my camera and then, you know, cut and edit, which I really don't do much of. I'm in the drip zone of my garage roof right now. It's just kind of a misty rain. I'm going to get the pressure washer set up, and this video is going to be on a two-step wheel cleaning. I might backtrack on that. These Tesla wheels, I don't know if I want to do acid on them. Maybe do acid while cleaning them, but that's something completely different. Anyway, I'm going to think about that and think about the whole reasoning of everything in life. But I'm going to work in the rain and get these wheels knocked out and at least get all the dirt off this filthy car. I am going to show you the inside too. It's pretty crazy. This is just a question that I've had on my mind. If my fuzzy kitten is out in the rain, does that mean that I've got wet pussy with me while I work? Just a question. Just answer in the comments. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to create controversy in a detailing group that I follow that is called Detailing for Money. There is a guy who is local to me up in Palm Harbor, and this guy, for about a month, showed a two-step touchless process for wheel cleaning. I've done it a couple times. Once with a hose. It was very early in the morning. It was like 6 a.m. It was dark. I had my headlamp on, and I did the process with hose pressure, and it didn't do a very good job. And the wheels weren't all that crazy dirty. I generally don't pull acid out. This is McGuire's wheel brightener. It's acid, and add about 4 parts water, 1 part wheel acid, it's a pretty strong. I suggest PPE, mask, eye protection, gloves, cover all your skin, pants, long sleeves, the full nine. Probably best to have the best mask you can wear. At least something very, very substantial. So anyway, the process goes like this: you spray the wheel brightener on once diluted. This is how I have mine diluted. I have it in this spray bottle. This is a Zepp, I believe. Yeah, Zepp spray bottle. I've had wheel and acid in this for years. I do clean. I put warm water and, rinse it through in the sink. Always make sure. I've never had a problem with this. Wheel acid, 3-to-1, 4-to-1. I've got it a little bit hot right now. It's probably more like 3-to-1. And a very, very effective cleaner. But what comes first? Here's the controversy. Do you do the acid and then spray brown, whether it be Chocolate Thunder, Dark Fury, or the degreaser slash base, even though it's pH neutral product, and then go on? Or do you start out with the wheel acid? Did I switch that up? Anyway, the promotion on Detailing for Money, all the videos and other guys posting videos were with the Chocolate Thunder or Dark Fury or whatever you like, pretty hot. I believe 1-to-1. I run mine 7-to-1. I've got mine mild. I use it on paint and glass and everything else. And then spraying the acid right on top of it, and then using a pressure washer, or pressure washing first, using the brown, pressure washing, then using the acid, pressure washing. Now, my little Karcher pressure washer, which is just out of camera sight, is a really cheap 1700 psi, 1.2 gallons. He's got, I think, like 3 gallons per minute. That's running a lot of water and rinsing very thoroughly. But I don't have that. So, even at hose water, which is a lot of water, I just wasn't getting the pressure and the cleaning. Today, I would like to try and do acid first and see what's left, and then clean up with the brown, which is going to be Dark Fury at 7-to-1. However, with this Tesla, I'm afraid of screwing up those black wheels. I probably mess them up. I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going to pretend that I'm going to make the video as if. Okay, so here's the controversy. If you've got your wheel acid, like has been suggested, you've got it very hot, you rinse it off, let's say, and you come in with the brown. You've got that hot. By hot, I mean a high concentration level. I've got mine at 7-to-1. It's a low. I've got this about 3-to-1. It's where it's, pretty strong. I think, guy on Detailing for Money, he's got his at 1-to-1, his acid, or his brown. I think it's 4-to-1 on his acid. So I've seen some chemists jump in. He's trying to get the fastest, high production, doing 10 cars a day with 2 guys kind of thing. I'm not that way. I'm very low production. If I do 2 cars in a day, that's a lot for me. And I only do it 3 days a week generally, but I'm on my 4th or 5th day in a row right now. I've been knocking it out. So as I look at these wheels, I just sprayed them off with the pressure washer. They're not that bad. It's a Tesla, but these are like plastic. I don't want to take the chance. Maybe it's okay, maybe it's not, but I don't want to go spraying acid on these and mess these things up. So what I'm asking you guys is, this is a great way to attack a very dirty wheel, this 2-step process. But I'm going to show you something important that I picked up on these videos, and that is that there is a way of sweeping with the angled pressure washer shaft, if you will, um, that I found very interesting. We're going to divide this up, into east, west, north, and south. Okay, and the suggestion has been that when you take the acid, you do not want to get it all back into the calipers. Well, I want to get my best cleaning product into the barrel. The controversy I've seen with this is he thinks that you're a hoe if you touch a wheel with wheel gloves, with a barrel brush. I put these in and get tight places behind the spokes. I don't know if you can really see that all that well, but uh, a nice wheel brush for getting this. This is a flag tip brush, nano skin, I believe. It's a retired iron fallout remover. I spread it out with a newer one of those. Tire brush. Never seen him use a tire brush. Lug nut brush. No lug nuts. Small brush for getting in on the valves and all that. He does none of that. He just wants to come in and spray, wet it down, make it as cool as you can. Hit it with acid, only going east to west and then west to east, while he is pushing 2 spray bottles with the acid. I believe he's letting it set for 30 seconds. I believe in his videos he is pressure washing the acid north to south, east to west, west to east, south to north. When you would think the least amount of acid would be up in there, you're bringing the wand with the angle up. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. I think it's an important point because it's made me kind of think about, all the backs of these, fins, spokes, blades, whatever you want to call them. There's quite a few. They're all angled and curved on this vehicle. And I have learned something from this. And I've also learned that I've kind of put my pressure washer away for quite a while. I haven't been using it because my airless paint sprayer for my rinseless in my system gives me, 3,000 PSI, and, it's plenty. Um, and I do wheels the same way, but I am liking the power of the pressure washer, although mine is a very cheap. I actually found it at the side of the road. It said free, and I picked it up, and it's worked for 5 years. It's an old Karcher, the 1.2 grams. It's small. It's not for big jobs, but it does get the water out. My water here at the house is, I think, 475. It's very, very mineral content. The TDI content is 475. And so that's the total dissolved solids. Excuse me. So, although I'm not going to spray the acid here, I do want to know if you have a thought on using, a little bit less aggressive brown, what he calls a degreaser. It is a pH neutral product, but it is powerful even though it's pH neutral, which seems strange to me. I'm not a chemist. I'm not pretending to be one. And then, would you put the acid on top of it if you did it that way? Would you rinse in between? Would you do as suggested, that do the the acid last, the acid first? What would be your thoughts? I would think you would want to knock out as much as possible with your best cleaning product, which is going to be the acid. If these were clear coated wheels, I would just show it to you. But just use your imagination. I'm just going east, west, west, east. With the brown, I'm doing east, west, and I'm going north and south and I'm covering every little bit, I always try and spray into the barrel. I always try and, use a brush to agitate and rinse thoroughly. So, I'm just spitting some things out at you. I'm kind of testing out my microphone and my little, clicker. I wanted to make it big enough for my wrist, but I pulled it too much, messing around with it. But it's easy to be here. And I'm just trying to make improvements in my own detailing work and what I offer to the public for my own cars, and just to make someone think. So that's what this is all about. I think I'm just going to kind of leave it there. I'd like to have a discussion about, your process. Are you using brushes? Are you a hoe, according to this administrator on Detailing for Money, which is a forum on Facebook. I'm in a lot of different detailing things. Sometimes it says Jeff Jackson, sometimes it says Deluxe Vehicle Detailing and Paint Correction. By the way, thumbs up if you've made it this long. This is probably going to be a long video. Sun's out. It's getting hot. I got to get to work. Anyway, I thank you. I am, as promised, going to show you the inside of this. I'm going to use my new quick disconnect for the iPad, and I've got a bracket on the back to hold. Not as good as the pistol grip, which I like. If I was doing an all pistol grip, like point of view, I probably would still use that. But anyway, slowly but surely, the iPad and I are becoming friends. And I do like the microphone, and I do like my little on-off clicker. So anyway, I thank you, and I'll be with you in just one sec. I'll show you the disaster interior detail I'm about to do. So I'm kind of finishing up the car, and I realized I wanted to show you, this is my angled pressure washer. I've got the white tip. I believe it's a 40. And I just wanted to show you, and I'm going to do this one-handed. I almost kind of forgot about it. But, just when I was describing how you want to, spray the acids or spray your brown, degreaser type. So this is going to jump on me a little bit to start. It's going to be loud. So if you've got this up or you've got headphones on, be advised right now. Get ready? So this is the east to west angled flow, and you go all the way across, and that allows you, whoops, sorry, I don't know if I was really showing that well. That allows you to get kind of every angle of the wheel. Here's your west to east. This is for your rinsing or your power wash or the way you spray. Thing almost got away from me. Now say that you had acid on there. If you don't want to get a face full of acid or acid flying up in the air, the east to west is pretty good. The west to east is pretty good. Here's the north to south, obviously. And you finish with the south to north. I think I did that very, very well one-handed. I wanted to give you a nice shot of the actual angle of that. It looks like it's a 40-degree angle. If this was straight out, yeah, probably 35 to 40-degree angle bend. Makes life easy. I do like thinking about using those 4 directions and maybe spraying acid only across this way and across this way, instead of like spraying acid from south to north and you're spraying it up in the air and the particles are atomized and you're breathing them in and they're landing on your skin whether you know it or not, and it's terrible.
and the guys I see working with acid that don't even have gloves on and they're in a pair of shorts because it's hot out, freaking amazing. So anyway, I was just finishing up, and I had that thought of I kind of wanted to show the angle. I'm going to pop this bit in before my ending. There's my beautiful, yes, that little spot right there. I just could not make that move, but all that jelly, and I am not like deep cleaning some of the grossness, but it's all cleaned out. This is not my, you know, most bestest interior, but I keep track of my hours, and I'm like, I could do an 8-hour day on that interior. I'll show you something that was kind of cool. I had the all the pennies that were stuck in candy or jelly or whatever this was. These are what I call soap rocks, or, people put them in the bottom of cup holders. They're absorbent. They're a rock that absorbs. It's kind of like sandstone kind of way. So, although these aren't perfect by any means, I did a 50-50 mix of like purple power degreaser and made with hot water, and soaked them for about half an hour, and then rinsed them thoroughly. And now I've got them, on some paper towel, which will suck the moisture back out. So although they're not beautiful, I'll put that one up on that side, that one up on that side. A lot better than it was. That vehicle was a real nightmare, as I knew it was. I inspected it a couple weeks ago when I did a maintenance wash on the Rolls Royce, which is my bestie client. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part of it up. I'm glad that I got to show you that whole east-west, and I'll slip this in before the ending. But don't forget the thumbs up, the share, the like, the comment, all the things you need to do. Thank you very much.
Da 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 da. So this car is owned by a traveling salesperson who doesn't take care of her car at all. Let's see, it's filthy. It's filthy. These seats have all kinds of stuff. I asked her to remove all personal items from the car before coming here. The cup holders are very clean. I don't see any dirt or anything there. That looks good. There are no personal items in the car. Everywhere that needs to be cleaned is all cleaned out. I haven't opened this yet. Oh yeah, yeah. No, there's no personal items in the console. No personal items in the door. Um, she has followed my directions perfectly. Sorry about that. I thought there was a quick. Let's take a look in the back here. Yeah, back's really not all that bad. I mean, it's reasonably dirty. Usually her trunk. Okay, she cleared everything out. She makes her money by traveling and doing things, and so, it's not so bad. Not so bad at all. I am, of course, kidding about, hey, have all your personal things out. So I text her. I said, personal items mean everywhere that you want me to clean has to be removed of your items. And then I said, for future reference. And I took a couple pictures of this. And then I told her I loved her. I told her that because she's my best client's ex fiance, and I have a good relationship with her. I've had meals, I've had drinks, I know her, but uh, she's she's a funny person. I've done a lot of work with her, for her, through the years, different cars, and yeah. All right, I got to get to work. That is it. Thank you for being with me. Give me a thumbs up, share, like, comment, and until next time, enjoy making your vehicles beautiful. I am going to bust ass in the sauna of Clearwater area, Florida, as the sun has come out and everything is super hot. I hope I hope you whoops, sorry about that. I hope you have an understanding of what I was trying to get at with like the acid or the degreaser base. You know, which one first? What do you use for a pressure washer? How much water flow have you got? How much psi are you running? Are you using wheel acid all the time? Some people that I've read in the comments over the last month of showing this two-step, this degreaser, knocking it down, hitting it with the acid, just going east to west and west to east, pressure wash, done. No touching of wheels at all, as far as I know, ever. I mean, if you've got a coated wheel and you're doing maintenance and it was just 2 weeks ago, okay, you could get away with it. But a hammered wheel, I've, you know, yeah, I would like the high pressure and the all that, gallons per minute and everything. But anyway, I thanks for being with me, and I hope you learned or thought about something. Thanks. This is the real flip side. Flip. See, there's my new hand grip. Here's my new transponder. There's my new tripod stand and the clicker. All right. Take care. Till next time.